Hey, what is up guys? This is Knight here, and I am coming back at you again today, people, with a brand new video. And in today's video, we're going to be switching it up a little bit. I'm going to be doing a top 10 list of my personal favorite characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, if you guys do enjoy it, then please do me a solid and leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And with that said, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so starting off our list at the number 10 spot, I'm going to give this one to Wolf. So, first of all, I'm just going to point this out. Don't expect me to overanalyze all these different characters. Okay, I'm not going to be talking about how this character is great because this side smash does this much damage, but he can get punished if you screw this up, or one weakness is that his recovery is bad, blah, blah, blah. Don't expect any of that out of this video. That's not what this is. But anyways, all that aside, going back to the Wolf, I would say that while he might be my weakest character on the list, hence why he's at the number 10 spot, I would still say he's definitely one of the most fun characters on the list, and that's why I enjoy him so much. I would say that whenever I'm playing a lot of Smash, and I find myself using a lot of the same characters, over and over again, this guy is a really fun change of pace because he has such a very different type of play style. He's got some really good side smashes. He has a blaster along with a deflector. All of it can, pair for some really nice gameplay. And again, he's a very different type of character from anyone else on the list. So I figured that I kind of had to give him a place just because of how much fun he is to use. Also, did I ever mention that I love wolves? Yeah, because that definitely plays a little bit of a factor in it as well. Alright, and now moving on to our number 9 spot, this is going to be Bowser. So I'm going to be completely honest, when I first had the idea to make this video, I wasn't really thinking about putting Bowser on the list, because when I think of my top 10 personal favorite characters in all of Smash Ultimate, Bowser definitely isn't one of the first ones to come to mind. But then I kind of came to a bit of a realization that I would say Bowser is probably one of the most successful characters that I've ever used in the whole game. So, first of all, the guy's a living tank. He hits like a truck, and it is so hard to fling him away. Okay, even at high percentages, he still is pretty dang tough, and he can take quite a few hits. And honestly, I would say that even as far as the heavy characters go, he's probably one of the speedier ones. So, some people might consider him to be a little bit OP in that regard, but I personally don't think it's all that bad because it's not necessarily uncounterable. But yeah, I would say overall, again, it just comes down to the fact that I find myself using him quite a bit, and when I do very well with him. He's just an overall really fun character, and he is, without a doubt, my personal favorite heavy in the entire game. Alright, and now moving on to our number 8 spot, this is going to be Little Mac. So, I'm going to be totally honest here, this is probably the one character on the list that I actually didn't really want to include, but I felt that I kind of had no choice. See, the thing with Little Mac is that he is good. Very good. In fact, probably a little bit too good. The thing with him is that he, first of all, has insane iframes, which gives him the ability to power through just about any hit that you can dish out on him. And on top of that, he hits like a truck. He pretty much has the power of Bowser, yet he also has like the speed of Sonic. And just when you thought I couldn't get much more OP than that, once you know, he has a counter. Yep, this guy has a flipping counter. And you're like, okay, yeah, that seems like a bit of an extreme character. But then just when you thought I couldn't get much more OP than that, he also has that ridiculous knockout punch. So I would say the thing about Little Mac is I almost don't want to include him on the list because he's so OP that it almost seems a little bit cancerous, and that's why I typically try to steer clear from him. But I can't deny that when I do end up using him, I absolutely wreck with him because he is pretty much everything that you could ask for in a character, at least in my mind. Except for, decent recovery. Alright, and now moving on to our number 7 spot, this is going to be Gren Ninja. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say that he's my favorite Pokemon on the list, as you're going to see that coming in quite a bit later, but I will still say he's definitely a very good second place in that category. I think he's, another very fun character to use because he has a lot of good tricks up his sleeve, mainly that his counter and the side B. Opponents never expect you to just teleport behind them, and it does a really good job of catching them off guard. He's also very quick as he is, a ninja style Pokemon. And he also has some really good recovery, although that's not as huge of a deal to me as it is to most people because I typically don't play with maps that have cliffs in them. But I will still say he's overall a very good character that I've mainly gotten good with because of the fact I've used him for so long, and he's actually probably the first Pokemon that I think I've ever played with in Smash. So I gotta give him a lot of credit for that, and overall he is definitely a very, very solid character that I would say is definitely deserving of a spot in the top 10. Alright, and now moving on to our number 6 entry, this is going to be Dark Samus. without a doubt, my personal favorite gunner in the entire game. But I like the fact that while it is a really good gunner character, it also can combat against non-gunner characters. The thing that's so great about it is not only is it good at range with the side B and the power-up charge blast, but on top of that, it also has some really good melee attacks as well. For example, the side smashes, of course, those are really great. And on top of that, you also have the insane up B, which honestly, I find myself dying to at very low percentages, and it really surprises me whenever it happens. And then on top of that, you also have the really good whip grab, which is, again, just another very good tool for catching opponents off guard. So there's honestly not a whole lot I can say about Dark Samus, but overall, I would just say a very, very awesome character. And again, without a doubt, my personal favorite gunner in the entire game. Alright, and now moving on to our number 5 entry. This is going to be Toon Link. Now, I can definitely see the arguments on one of the other versions of Link being on this list, but if you ask me, it really just comes down to your preference of playstyle on which version of Link you like the best, and for me, that definitely has to be Toon Link. I really just think that the smaller, lighter version that's a little bit more mobile, but also a little bit easier to fling away, I think that definitely works with him the most, especially with my playstyle. So he is a little bit easy to fling away because he's one of the lighter characters in the game, but I wouldn't say it's so easy to the point that he's pretty much useless. And in fact, I would also say that he does hit very hard. You just whack people with his Master Sword, and it does quite a bit of damage. Especially his up A, I would definitely say that's very useful because it has almost a little bit of a magnet effect. Like if someone's just standing right next to you, you do your up A and that actually catches them within it. So that's very useful. And like Dark Samus, he also has the chain grab, which is really nice for catching opponents off guard, like I said before. So just an overall very well-balanced character that I find myself definitely having a lot of success with. Alright, now moving on to our number 4 spot. This is going to be the Mii Fighters. Now, I wasn't sure which one specifically I was going to include on the list between the Gunner, Brawler, and Swordsman, but then I just decided, screw it, we'll just group them all into one big bunch for the sake of this video. So, first of all, we just gotta throw it out there, they're the most customizable fighters in the entire game. I mean, there's really no question about that, and that alone makes them very, very good characters. And I would say that if you're really good at determining what your playstyle is and what moveset you're the best with, you will absolutely devastate people with these guys. And I know there are actually quite a few complaints about the Mii Fighters, especially in like competitive play and tournaments and stuff, and I can completely see why, but I still think that at the end of the day, you can't deny the Mii Fighters are some of the best characters in the entire game, especially if you know what your playstyle is and how to form that into your own custom moveset. Alright, and now cracking our way into the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, we have what is probably the most surprising yet also the most ridiculous character on the entire list. This is going to be Duck Hunt. Now, honestly, this character is pretty dumb. So first of all, your A keys, you got this weird NES Zapper attack, which honestly does a surprising amount of damage. And then you also have a duck that can peck at you. You have a throwable clay shot, which you can shoot at will. And you have a weird thing where you can spawn in a pixelated cowboy. And you have a can of beans, which you can constantly shoot and then land on someone to explode on impact. Why is this character so good? It is beyond me. He's one of the stupidest things ever, and I love it. This is without a doubt one of the most hilarious and also most satisfying characters for me to use with. I don't know why I perform so well with this guy, but I started using him like about a month ago, and I don't know what it is, but he clicked, and we're bros now, and I absolutely love using him. And it's just so hilarious when you are using this like crazy character like, I don't know, Shulk for example, and you get owned by a dog and a duck. Let that sink in. You're this crazy swordsman with this ability to, look into the future and speed and all this other stuff, and yet you get owned by a dog and a duck. Just let that sink in. It's honestly stupid, but it's some of the most fun I've ever had, and he is without a doubt one of my personal favorite characters of all time. Alright, and now moving on to our number 2 entry, this is going to be Bowser Jr. Now, in all honesty, I would probably say that Bowser Jr. is probably the biggest contender for the number 1 spot. out of any character on this list other than, of course, the number 1 spot himself. But the other thing about him is I would also go as far as to say that Bowser Jr. is probably the most underrated character on this entire list. And I'm not just talking about you have a few people that say he's, not that great of a character. I'm talking you have a lot of people who genuinely think that he is one of the worst characters in all of Smash. And I'm sorry, but I just completely disagree with you. One of the things that's so awesome about Bowser Jr. is not only does he have some really, really high damage attacks, but he also has just, again, so many different tricks up his sleeves that provides for a very unique type of play style. There's a lot of different things that he can do that you oftentimes don't expect him to do. Like, for example, say you're going to do like a side dash attack on him. The last thing you're expecting him to do is to be there, and then suddenly he's not there, and in his place is just an exploding bomb, and all of a sudden you're dead. Or you're going at him, and what you know, he whips out a cannon and blasts you all the way to the other side of the map. It's just, he has so many insane attacks, and I would without a doubt say he is the most underrated character on this entire list. And it's a little bit of a shame that I can't give him the number 1 spot, but in my opinion, that just goes to show how good the number 1 spot truly is. Plus, also, he was actually the first ever Smash Bros. Character that I've used, so I kind of got to give him some bonus points for that as well. Alright, but then finally closing off our list at the number 1 spot as my personal favorite character in all of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, this is going to be Lucario. Now, Bowser Jr. does come in a very close second place, but I think I gotta give the edge to Lucario here simply because of how extremely well he has been performing, especially recently. His moveset is just perfect for me. Okay, he has a ranged attack, which you can charge up. He has a counter. He has a very good recovery, which can also double as an attack. And he has a grab attack, which can also just double as a, slight range attack. All of which does some, solid damage. But the best part about it is the fact that he has Aura. And if you don't know what Aura does, basically it means as he increases in percentage, he also increases in damage. So long story short, if you get Lucario at kill percent, you better watch out because that means you are also at kill percent as well. Now I know some people have said that they actually kind of ruined Lucario ever since Smash 4, but I personally do not see it. I still think he is a phenomenal character even in Smash Ultimate. Now whether he's better than the one in Smash 4, I think that's up for debate, but I still don't think there's any denying for me that he is the best character that I've played with, so therefore he comes in at number 1 without a shadow of a doubt. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to leave a big fat thumbs up and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. What are your top 10 favorite characters in all of Smash Bros? I want to see you guys' picks in the comments below. But with all that said, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.